All right. Right now, what I'm saying is they're focusing on the word Star League, and it looks like we see the trophy again. Who do you think will make out with the trophy better, Fantasy or Jaedong?
Jaedong.
Well,
Jaedong's got more practice.
But Fantasy, he wants it more.
Yeah, he's still a trophy virgin. He hasn't been with the trophy yet.
Okay, I see 5, 4, 3, 2,
3, yeah.
1, 0.
Buffering.
Right. You and I are synced. Moltrap, go take it away.
All right, Game 5. Woo-hoo-hoo! Finally, after all this time, I've got a stream that works, and I'm actually synced, and I am very excited to see Game 5. I was a little bit worried that we were just going to have a quick 3-0, and Jaedong was going to have to start, doubting my entire world because, I 3 weeks ago, if you'd asked me what the best player in the world is, I would have said BaToo, and then I saw BaToo get owned, and then I saw Jaedong destroy everyone in the Winners League, and I was like, oh, wow, okay, so Jaedong is apparently the best player in the world right now, and if Jaedong had completely failed and just gotten 3-0'd in this match, it seriously would have turned my world upside down. There would be nothing that I could have any faith or confidence in anymore. It would have been horrible, but at least we're in Game 5. Even if Jaedong doesn't win, then he hasn't been bowled over, and we've seen some really, really strong play from him, some really beautiful play from him, and so I'm satisfied. I can still, think of him as the best player in the world, and even if Fantasy wins, he's still a better player overall, I think. Anyway, we do see Fantasy closing off his door. This is Medusa again, the map that Fantasy won the first game, and Jaedong is scouting the wrong direction, so he's probably going to send out a drone scout, especially if he doesn't see Fantasy's base right off, is what I'm predicting here, because he really needs to know. I mean, he can almost... I would be willing to bet money that Fantasy's going to mech, because guess what he's done for 10 games in a row now? Anyway, but yeah, we'll see what happens, though. It looks like he's going to set up a hatchery first, and maybe he's not going to drone scout after all, but either way, he's kind of going to want to know what's going on, although Fantasy apparently hasn't practiced. Yeah. I mean, if he practiced any M&M, he probably would have done it by now, so I don't think he's going to try it and pull it out in Game 5. Especially since he's doing the same build.
No, not a Medusa, certainly. And we're seeing a girl giving a peace sign there, and a bunch of people going crazy for one of the two players. So, I mean, the pressure's on for both players. You know what this reminds me? This series reminds me a little bit of Luxury versus Best a while ago. That was a kind of a heartbreaking series for many Luxury fans because it was in the round of 4 of the OSL, and Luxury was up 2-0 after the first 2, and then he just fell apart. He lost the next 3, making Best the second person to go into the finals and lose to July
SCV wins the epic.
Oh wow!
Epic
SCV
battle.
wins that epic combat. Yeah, nice fight there between SCV and the drone. But SCV's got a lot more health. Anyway, it looks like a first Marine coming out here. This is a standard 10 racks, and we'll see if there's gas. If there's gas, this Overlord looks like it's gonna fly away in time. Actually, I was gonna be scared for its life there. Factory going down for Fantasy as we expected, and unfortunately for him, he didn't. For Jaedong, he didn't get a scout into Fantasy's base, so he's not gonna be able to see. And he wants that SCV, man. He's out for blood. Look at that drone. He sent down another drone to kill this SCV. SCV's running. Oh my god! I gotta think there's a better use for this drone than trying to kill a damaged SCV. But I guess Jaedong knows best, or maybe he's just bloodthirsty. I think he is just a bloodthirsty person. But anyway, so Jaedong gonna get a couple lings out, and Fantasy survives with his SCV. But more importantly, is he going to go for a fast expand afterwards, or what? And, okay. Interesting. Rise, are you around? Rise is not around, so Moltrap.
I guess Rise is still not around, yeah. So, we got him putting up a colony in the front there, and there we go. Factory, and he's got a starport down. We could be seeing, the primary version of the Fantasy build here, where he goes... straight into an expansion and then gets Goliaths and Valkyries. We could be seeing something along those lines.
Don't forget the Vulture drop.
Or a Vulture drop.
That's what the Vulture drop is what it starts with. Yeah.
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you're right. The Fantasy build did, and then kind of the variations that came after. And he's actually going to squeeze a Vulture into the back of his base. Jaedong is on top of it. He's got the lings and a drone there. Is he going to block it?
No, he's got them there accidentally. It's a fortunate accident for him. He was trying to, I think he was trying to get them, like, to Fantasy's base, but by doing that, like, or something, I don't think that drone was meant to go there. I totally do not think he did that intentionally. I think he was, like, trying to A-move, and you know how, like, well, if you start off from behind your base and you try to move, like, it'll go through the temple instead of pathing the right way. But anyway, whatever reason he got this crap there, it was at the perfect freaking time.
Yeah, it worked out all right.
Awesome.
It was at ridiculous timing. Oh my god, what hacks. And, we're seeing, perhaps the fantasy build, you're right, but he's going to be facing 2-hatch straight-up Mutalisks here. No Hydras even for Jaedong.
Should I go?
Rise, you back
I'm
yet?
back.
Yeah, go right ahead. Yeah.
Well, it looks like that Spire is almost done, and I missed a little bit of the action, but I did catch that last moment of the Vulture getting caught by a couple of lings in a drone. That was ridiculous.
I think it was luck.
I can't believe
Yeah.
I can't believe how well he trapped that Vulture. I mean, Fantasy must have been so upset about that. I mean, the random luck, and wow, is he gonna have more random luck and actually spot that dropship with lings? I don't know. No,
This
he's
is
not.
the
He's
fantasy
chasing
build.
an SCV.
By the way, this
that,
is the fantasy build.
Oh my god! Well, yeah, it's fantasy playing, so no matter what the build is.
It sucks, though. This build's horrible.
So,
it's a horrible build. I've said
dropship
so many times.
The dropship was scouted. He saw it with the Lord. He
Oh,
had to have
Mutas,
seen it.
come
Now
on, just
those
the perfect
vultures are
moment.
dropping.
Yeah. This is why,
Ridiculous. They're going to be able to take him out.
This is why it's bad. GG. Jaedong wins this game, I gotta say. I mean,
Wow.
fantasy going for the fantasy build, it's not gonna work. Not going to work. It worked once. It will never work again. I call this game for Jaedong.
If he can get in before the turrets go up, then Jaedong does have this game in the bag, but he's kind of dallying around. He's waiting for Zerglings. The turrets might go up. Oh, the one turret goes up. One turret's going to be easy to dispatch, but yeah. 2-hatch Muta versus 0 Medic Marines. He's not going to be able to get enough Valkyries out. He's got one out now, but he's got Scourge ready for it. Oh, Scourge attacking it! The Mutas finish off the Valkyrie. No Valkyrie at all.
Yeah!
In the front. Jaedong
Yeah, that's what you get, fantasy. That's what you get going for the horrible fantasy build. Oh my god, I've railed against this build since its beginning. It sucks. The fantasy build works once, and that was fantasy versus GE play. It's over! Jaedong's gonna win the OSL! There's nothing more. You know, obviously the stream's still going on, but the game's over. Jaedong has complete freaking control over fantasy space because he went for a retarded build. Who goes for one vulture into command center into vulture drop? Like who does that? Nobody.
Oh, the door
because it
goes
sucks.
down.
Yeah, the front door goes
down.
down. And fantasy, I can't believe he believed in his own build. God, I mean, he's a smart kid. He should realize the only reason he won is because
Uv is
GG
not
play is not
happy.
good. Look at Uv. Uv's hurting inside because he's like, you went for your crappy build instead of any build I taught you, which wasn't the freaking
I told
fantasy
you
build.
to stop sucking.
Yeah, exactly.
what he
I did
said.
tell you, do the fantasy build. Do the build that sucks, that never worked again after you did it like twice.
Man.
Oh man, Jaedong
That
wins.
is it. That is
Do a
it. There are
barrel
Mutas
roll.
everywhere. Turrets
I
are
mean-
going down.
Turrets are
There's
gonna go
lings
down,
in the
and that's
supply
it.
line. He's getting
LOL.
these.
He's got no SCVs left.
GG fantasy build.
Well, Uv was talking to him.
Wow.
He must have known that he was going to go for this. He must have had this plan. And to be completely honest, if Jaedong had done something different and he'd done more damage with the vultures, then it's not necessarily bad. GG coming from Fantasy.
GG.
Jaedong is the new
Jaedong 3-2.
OSL champion. Fantasy goes home with a second silver. Wow.
You can't even tell Jaedong won. He's like, oh man, he's got to be happy.
That is clutch.
What a comeback.
That was such a
What
clutch
a freaking comeback.
That is hardcore.
Wow.
Especially after getting
Fantasy.
bowled over the first two games. Like, he didn't just lose
I
the
feel
first two
horrible
games.
for Fantasy. Fantasy might be the new king of silver here. The new king.
He's second place
silver.
to Jangbi in that category.
Yeah, that's true. Well, yeah, Jangbi's got one more silver than him, but still. Good work, Jaedong.
Wow. Yeah, that was amazing. That was amazing. Jaedong just absolutely clutch. And there's, I mean, that's just like we were talking earlier. There's his mom going crazy again. that's like we were talking earlier about how Jaedong's been here before. He's really, really done extremely well, in high pressure situations in the past, and here he is again. Down 2 games, he doesn't lose it like Stork or any number of. Well, Stork actually he doesn't lose it in pressure situations that much, but who am I thinking of? Savior, I guess. Line sometimes likes to choke. He just played his best and came back and just countered what Fantasy was doing and took the series. Absolutely amazing.
I'm impressed.
Yeah, I mean,
man. This was a good game for sure.
I'm impressed, and also let us now not even eulogize, but let us now bury the Fantasy build forever. It is dead. It has been shot in the head and thrown off the Brooklyn Bridge into the East River, tied down with concrete weights. That's how dead the Fantasy build is. But yeah,
apparently the Fantasy build owed money to the mob.
Yes, it did. I gotta say, I mean, I don't know what Fantasy was thinking. I guess he thought, is his mom gonna pick him up? What the hell?
No.
That would have been weird, man. That would have been really, really
Oh,
weird.
man.
Short.
Fantasy's mom is, crying.
Having a
That's too
seizure.
bad. They're trying to give her flowers and she's not even taking them.
Yeah, she's like, let me get at him for going for that Fantasy build. Like, why'd you go for that dumb Vulture Drop build?
She's gonna
It
walk
sucks
into the booth.
against
She's gonna
Mutas.
walk into the booth and punch him in the face and kick him in the nuts and say, "You are not gonna have mac and cheese with the rest of the family tonight. You have to sit at the kids' table." And Fantasy's gonna cry.
But I mean, again,
I think Jaedong's...
I don't think it was that horrible of a decision. I mean, if Jaedong hadn't gone 2-hatch Muta and had those Mutalisks popped out at the exact perfect moment to kill the Vultures, I mean, seriously, if those Mutas had come out 10 seconds later, all of his drones would have been dead, and Fantasy would have won instead. It could have gone either way.